Good evening, everyone. I'll call the September the 12th, 2016 Board of Supervisors meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We have Mr. Jeff Black from Providence Reformed Presbyterian Church here to do our invocation. I would ask everyone to stand and please remain standing for the pledge.
Lord our God, you do tell us that it is pleasing, it is good and acceptable in your sight that we pray for all men, and particularly for kings, and for those who are in authority, in order that we may lead a tranquil and quiet life in all godliness and dignity. We do thank you for these men who are here this night. Lord, we pray that you would grant to them wisdom, that they would base their views, their decisions, their deliberations on objective and eternal truth. That they would be mindful that this world was created by you and you have patent rights and you will exercise them. You have exalted your Son Jesus to your right hand, and all men will answer to him for their deeds, for their words, and for their thoughts. Lord God, grant to them wisdom. Pray that as they seek to do what is right in your sight, that they might be an exceedingly great blessing to us in this country. Hear us, O Christ, in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everyone. We'll move right into our agenda with Citizens Time. Did anyone sign up for Citizens Time? Would anybody like to speak? I'll keep the floor open for a few seconds. Hearing none, I'll close Citizens Time. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for August the 23rd, 2016. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any changes or corrections? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Dr. Hausman?
Aye.
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 Jim.
Aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Next item on the agenda is payment of invoices. I entertain a motion to pay the invoices.
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any invoice any board member would like to pull out or have any questions? Here none, I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Horny?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Move right into old business appointments. Future appointments. Mr.
Next month, we have two major appointments, one to the Joint Public Service Authority and one to the JIDA. We'll be opening up. Mr. Gordon, last meeting will be in September. Ms. Jones have that appointment expires at the end of October.
Okay. Keep that in mind, and we still have appointments for the Wythe County Rescue Squad Board, and don't we have one for lead mines, one appointment? We need,
So do.
No, I think we're full.
we full with lead mines?
Yeah, I think.
I think we got one over for.
Dr. Hausman, did you discuss, have you talked to the one for the Wythe County Rescue Squad?
No, I
We have
was,
not gotten the information until
Okay. Readoption of the Emergency Operations Plan. I know we adopted this earlier in the year. What has changed?
There's a family assistance center annex. I emailed it to all of you all earlier today. Basically following adoption, even though it had been reviewed from the state level, fortunately, a member of the LEPC noticed that that section was not in there. It is an annex, so it's just added to the end, so just request adoption with that annex added.
Okay, we have a question, request from staff to adopt the emergency operation plan. To have a motion,
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we adopt Wythe County Resolution 2016-16, Emergency Operations Plan.
to have a second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Dr. Houseland?
Aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Mr. Dalton, is anything under old business?
Yes, sir.
Moving into new business, Economic Development Committee.
The committee met on September the 8th and recommends an amendment and appropriation of an amount of $7,467 to the Wythe Smith Airport Commission.
Okay, coming from committee, it doesn't need a second. I open the floor up for discussion. Hear none. I'll do a roll call vote. Dr. Houseman?
Aye.
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 The chair votes aye. Is that all from the Economic Development Committee?
If I may, we
Yes.
discussed some other things in the Economic Development Committee. One of them concerns the current farm lease out at Progress Park. I haven't gotten with Art yet, but we're discussing converting that to a year-by-year lease. The instructions I we did that, just haven't gotten there. That was the other matter in economic development.
Okay. The Appalachian Exposition logo. Has everybody pulled it up? Mr. Dalton, you want to summarize this and the meeting we had with the authority?
Well, the Appalachian Regional Authority met and looked at them. They had a couple of suggestions. This was the best of the lot they felt. We took the shields of the interstate off. That leaves the mountains in the background that everybody feels that if you have a major sponsor later on, it could be added into that background. And we are needing to move forward with finalizing sign designs and with the logo. And they recommended this to the Board of Supervisors. The Economic Development Committee looked at it and also agreed to that.
Okay, I entertain a motion that we approve the logo.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Horny?
Aye.
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 The chair votes aye. Okay, next item on is meal tax. We got a letter from York County, and they're pushing to have the General Assembly change for all counties in the state can charge a meal tax up to 8%. Is that right, Mr. Dalton? You want to further summarize?
That's pretty much equal taxation between cities, counties and towns. But that would be 8%, the cap, max.
I didn't get to read all the way through that. Are they requesting a resolution from the,
We put this in the board package for y'all to consider. If y'all feel that it's worthy, then we'll adopt and get a resolution draft for y'all's consideration for the next meeting.
Now, may I
Yes.
ask a question? Okay, I know VACO, under this idea of tax parity, are they not also pushing for the cigarette tax?
It is on the legislative agenda for VACO as the top priority out there. But while VACO can sort of press the issue at the bigger level of passing this and having, I guess, all the individual counties have a resolution that you can say that this many counties have passed a resolution and we're part of that coalition, carries more weight than just a lobbying group for the counties.
While we're on that expanded revenue stream, has anybody championed that request that's come out of Crew and Blackstone and,
Actually, I received that Friday afternoon after the board package, but there is a resolution out there for lottery proceeds. I think I forwarded it to all of you guys,
yes, you did.
but we'd already finished the package at that point.
can we add that and discuss that tonight?
Sure you may.
If you can pull it up there, I don't know how with my new toy, but it basically is something that makes sense. You get 5% back. It won't affect the state share, and you get it back based on what's sold in your county. And we would do a whole lot better on that one than Nottaway County is going to do. I think it could be a real significant ability to offset local taxes.
Yeah, if the General Assembly don't do like they did with the schools, I mean, cut back on their general fund spending, I mean, allegations to us or,
That was my concern too.
yeah.
Well, as long as we keep sending the same people to the General Assembly, that's going to happen. Whether it's lottery money or whether it's these, I think we ought to support it because it's another way that they can transfer money. And the thing I liked about it, right now, it doesn't have strings attached to it like all the other things. It's come to the board, right? And they don't tell you what it can be used for. So quite often, money coming from the lottery, you've only had two options what you can use it for, either new construction, maintenance, or debt service. Isn't that correct? Back when we got money from the lottery?
When we got direct money from the lottery, it was school construction, maintenance. But when we had the 2000 some budget crisis, they took that money away and put it towards the general fund. Supplanted general fund dollars, it's just general dollars to schools.
Oh,
The only question I have, I think it's a good proposal, you should get something back when you do something, is selling lottery tickets. But there's only this much lottery tickets gonna be sold. The guys that are selling lottery tickets and running Lotto Virginia are gonna take their cut. And the rest of it has been going to the schools. What's left? You take 5%, that's 5%, in my mind, away from the schools. I mean, there's just a certain number of lottery dots. Now, you may give that back to the schools. It appears if, after they run the lottery games and do all the advertisement, there's this much money to head towards the schools. If you take 5%, that's 5% less.
to counteract that, Salil, right now, that's everybody shares in one pot.
Yes.
And we have a lot more sales here than the counties that are not on a corridor or not an influx of out-of-state people. And I'm going to invoke the 11th commandment. Pick the Yankee dollars. And this is a chance, guys, to get some real money that the Board of Supervisors, if you want to give it back to the schools, you do it like our Constitution says we're to do. Is that the Board of Supervisors control funding. So whether it depletes one part of the lottery, that's not what their legislation says. It says it will not deplete that they're going to take it from the winners. That's what I read in it. Now, whether that's what the legislature does, but we were promised when the lottery passed that it was going to be a flow of funding. Well, that hadn't happened. Now, here's somebody proposing legislation, and Delegate Stanley? No, not Stanley. He's carrying the bill. It said in there who's carrying the bill. I think we ought to be for it.
Joe, are you asking that resolution be placed on the next board meeting agenda?
Yeah, and everybody read it and understand it. I certainly wouldn't. Yeah, let's put that in the package and deal with it responsibly next board meeting.
So it's a consensus of everyone to do both the resolutions for York County and,
May I say something?
yes.
I see there they got 5 counties that have been granted an exemption. Have they made known what their plan is?
Which,
York County?
It's
Yeah, Roanoke is one of those.
Arlington, Roanoke, Rockbridge, Frederick, and Montgomery.
Which legislation are we talking about?
the mills
Mills.
tax.
Oh, okay.
Do they already have a mills tax?
I know Montgomery County has a healthy one.
They're one of
I
them.
don't know
We
what
do
the tax
too.
is with them. I don't figure.
They're maxed. So, well, will these things go to legislature as individual, or does VACOR think of doing a package that would just say, remove those 2 words and give the counties
These
each?
are going individually.
Okay.
If you package all the tax legislation in one, there's not much of a chance it's going to gain any traction.
And the tobacco tax, cigarette tax will be separate too. These two.
Well, while we're on taxes and we're running out of time, I think we all ought to do our job and talk that up at the upcoming convention and try to get as much support from all localities all over the state.
Well, we're having a Region 12 and Region 13 VACO area region meeting on the 22nd. 22nd in Lebanon, and that is going to be one of the topics to the tobacco tax. We have invited all the senators and delegates in the Region 12 and Region 13, so I'd like for everyone to come that can. We need a big turnout, and I have sent letters to all the board supervisors in our adjoining counties, and to Senator Kerry Coe, Jeff Campbell, and Senator Sudeline. That covers part of our county and east. I'm going to call them personally this week and ask them to come. And Delegate Campbell carried the bill last year, which went to, they sent it to Finance Committee 2, and me and Mr. Dalton went down and I spoke for the bill. VACO spoke for the bill. There was 2 or 3 other delegates spoke for it, and one opposition from some tobacco I guess,
Back lobby.
lobby, and they tabled it.
Is Representative or Delegate Campbell, is he reintroducing it?
He is going to reintroduce the bill this upcoming year. I am going to ask Senator Carrico to carry it on the Senate side. Me and Mr. Hill has talked to Mr. Carrico a couple of years ago about it. And if he hasn't changed his mind, he thought it, he was in favor of doing that. We have, there are two counties in the state that already charges a tobacco tax, and that's Fairfax and Arlington. And how they got that passed, I don't know how long it's been, how many years it's been.
Well, the
since
reason
they
I
got
asked
it.
about Delegate Campbell is that I know that last year, I think he said he presented it by request. Is he going, will he do it, I mean, is that something that they normally do? Or, I mean, I took that to mean that he wasn't that much in favor of it, but somebody had asked him to do it so that,
He was in favor of it because he got 2 or 3 delegates from Northern Virginia to come and speak for it too. And he says he's got some more support this year than he had last year.
but, and I'm not familiar with that. I mean, is that a sort of standard language to do it by request? I didn't, or is that sort of a weak way to do it?
I would characterize it as a weak way to do it.
Okay.
My request means that you're carrying it on behalf of someone else.
Yeah.
Coy, to answer your question, going back just a second, those counties already have legislation that doesn't require, they can do it without a referendum. So it doesn't affect them at all.
But would like for everybody to mark their calendar for the 22nd and come to Lebanon for the meeting.
And that's at what time?
6 p.m. We can, guess we can meet here and take a couple of vehicles down. We will need to leave here by 4:30.
4:15 or 4 o'clock, you never know what's
Yeah, 4 o'clock. Try to leave by 4 o'clock on the 22nd. Is there any more discussion?
I think I sent you all an email. I won't be in town.
Mr. Byer can go with us.
22nd, gone too. CEDA conference.
I guess y'all can all go with me.
The keys will be on the table.
Can I?
Gary's got to drive.
You know your way to Lebanon.
Oh, hey, we've been enough football games and basketball games over there. Yeah, I can find Lebanon.
Okay. So you'll have the resolutions for us to look at in the next board package. Okay, next item on the agenda is Lead Mines Rescue Squads Fund Grant. Mr. Dalton, you want to summarize?
Can we have a request? The application will be due the 15th, 3 days from now. I think it's appropriate to say that we'll submit it to the next funding cycle, available funding cycle, instead of trying to rush to get a package together to compete against the one we already have in.
And we did talk about this in the Fire and Rescue Committee meeting that we had, and that was kind of the Fire and Rescue Committee's recommendation to inform them to apply for in the spring.
And this is, letter in here is to amend and appropriate the one we just bought. Supervisors last year approved the funding of this. Just didn't, it's not in this year's budget.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'll recommend that the board amend and appropriate $26,651.40 to 32031 470030 Lead Mines Rescue Squad motor vehicles and equipment.
Okay, do I have a second for the appropriation?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Horny?
Uh,
Aye.
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 And the chair votes aye. Mr. Dunn, before we go in closed session, anything else we need to bring up?
I laid on your desk a copy of Commonwealth Virginia Department of Human Resource Management, Senate Bill 364, local option health insurance. Include the comparison of benefits. What we have until, from this letter, which we only got this week, the deadline for this, the preliminary non-binding interest submission is Wednesday. I don't know that it hurts us to go ahead and get a non-binding information from them and then make the decision later on. There's only one person in here that's ever been on the state health plan. He's the chairman. I don't know if it's better or worse.
Well, and I was on it for a few years, and the premiums got, just on me, up over $600, but that was for retirees. I don't know how it would work. I mean, when I was employed by the state, the premiums wasn't that high. If they go to, if everybody participates in this, do we look at a decrease in premiums?
I
Maybe.
don't know any of that information. I mean, this is,
And we have to send a decision in 2 days, basically?
Is there a trust us letter somewhere too?
sir.
Is there a trust us letter somewhere?
Well, it's a non-binding.
Yeah,
Well, the first one's non-binding, but
October the 14th is the deadline.
the deadline to send this non-binding is September.
Yeah.
Would it not make more sense to explore this, look at it for another year? I mean,
If it's not binding, we can get the information, we can go ahead and be looking at it.
well, if we can get information, yeah, if it doesn't put us on the hook for anything.
Do you need a vote or just a consensus?
The consensus to send it in, I wouldn't want to have anybody vote that come back, haunt you later on.
Yeah.
The consensus, just to send it in, this, because there's a lot of work. We've got to send all of our data in off of every individual member to them so they can do an analysis. And maybe we can just release it, but it really doesn't say how you get it to them. It just says we'll end up having to get it to them.
And that is to get, just to get the information, or is that?
Yeah, they get it, Gary, they're not gonna be able to quote anything unless they know the
Our experience.
experience and the impact they're gonna have. What if we were the only localities sending this non-binding? You haven't had a chance to call anybody to see what agency or whoever's down this road. Just,
Plus, this would affect the school system?
yes.
Well, I think we should at least send, if it's non-binding, we should send it in and just see what it's gonna, what they come back with. It may be a lot cheaper. And it'll be a lot of, how many counties in schools, is it, are they offering this to cities and towns too, or just counties and school systems?
Everybody that has an agency, PSA, and library.
Do we have a consensus to send it in and get the information?
I'm still trying to understand. We will have to send in the experience for everybody in the county, everybody in the school system, and get that done by Wednesday?
No, no. Read the last page.
Well, what we do, Gary, is we'll write a letter authorizing local choice to release that information. That's the only way it's gonna happen by Wednesday.
Okay.
I did send you, everybody should have had a copy of the slideshow. I originally got it from the sheriff
Mhm.
department. Then I got, later, we got a copy of it from the state. But you should have that whole slideshow.
Yeah, I got it.
Potentially can impact us.
Steve, is it time? I mean, is it your consensus to go ahead, Charlie? Okay, Mr. Dolphin, it's the board consensus to go ahead and send it in the non-binding. Okay, is there anything else? Yep.
Don't have any.
Mr. Chairman, I got a phone call the other day from Keith Krieger in Retreat. And I guess I could have sent this out by email, but I told him we had a meeting tonight. He said that at the transfer center that they won't take tires anymore, even if they pay, he said he didn't mind paying a fee to take the tires down there, but he was told that they wouldn't take them and to call.
Convenience center? Or-
Yeah, no, he was talking about the transfer center.
We've never taken tires at the transfers.
All right, well, what do the people who run tire places do with their tires?
Well, the few that I know about, they actually, there's a contract hauler around that'll bring you a box and pick them up, and take them off. And I think the price is either $1.50 or $2 a tire.
Okay.
Personal vehicles, if you have 4 tires, you can take them
Right.
to the
Yeah,
center.
but this is commercial.
Commercial.
There was a group over in Carroll County, but they've moved the operation down there in North Carolina to take tractor trailer loads of tires.
Well, he said that he called 4 different recycling places, and none of them came to this area. But
Has he contacted Meade Lewis or Thompson?
Well, I don't-
Like were they,
I don't know, that's what I'll tell him to do.
I would assume that the guy that contracts with the county, he's hauling out plenty of tires, he would do that on a contract basis, B&M Recycling.
Okay.
Plus he's got his own boxes and everything with the bulk.
while we're on that subject, what, are we gonna take chemicals this year? Set up a day.
September 24th. Jeremy gave me the flyer to review this afternoon. A couple minor changes will be on it. It'll be going out tomorrow. September 24th, 8 to 12 at the transfer station.
And that's paint and,
Paint, computers, TVs, solvents, chemicals,
8 till 12?
8 to 12.
Is there anything else, Mr. Dahl, before we go into closed session?
There will also be a tire pickup day in October. Well, I don't have that date yet, and they are working with the Farm Bureau on doing the tractor tires again. I want to say October 22nd, I'm pretty sure. I will confirm that.
Okay, if there's
One more
nothing,
thing before you go.
okay.
Mr. Dalton, Corey, you want to do this too, don't you? But be done.
You'll have to speak up, Joe, where you can hear you.
Well, doing good for you to contact Mr. Russell or somebody in Bristol office and see how long our maintenance crew is going to be deployed to foreign land. He's pulled a Speedwell crew, according to what he told us, and sent them to Grayson County to help them catch up. All equipment that I've seen's been sitting all week. I think everybody's got roads that are pretty rough.
Well, I know the mowing machines have been sitting beside the railroad.
I bet you have been eyeing those bright new tractors down there. But we haven't seen any, have you seen any activity anywhere? I think
I
that,
think they did Pope Road, was it? The last I know it.
Yeah, but that was right after it rained, it's been a while back, right?
but, you know, how can you take one of two maintenance crews that's understaffed and send them to a county to help out because they were behind? That's assuming we were caught up, and I've never known of us being caught up with maintenance work. Some of the things that have been promised haven't happened in the way of maintenance, and it just doesn't seem like good management to me that if you're understaffed, not getting the job done, to cut your workforce in half and send them to another county.
I know we turned in Dry Pond over a week ago, and it still hasn't been touched, because our road is. They haven't scratched it yet. And it's Sweckertown Road. No, Crawford Road.
Crawford, Swing.
Off the right, Steve. Crawford.
That's it.
Is that it?
Okay, he's got an email anyway.
I will tell you something, that's great mine.
I meant to ask you, did you get my message on the water leak on 94? I left you a voicemail. It's right south of Lots Gap.
Or we just fixed it.
There was water in the road yesterday morning, and I went to church.
I think it fixed it today.
Did they?
We were down there last week, or week before last.
It was running in the road every week.
Yeah, I went
That's what we done.
to church Sunday morning. There was water in the road.
Is that more of that bad section below Phelps?
Yes.
If we ever get around to fixing that, can we recycle the repair kits on it?
I'm sure sure they fixed that leak today, 'cause I seen where they did it on South Road.
Okay, if that's, everything come for the board this time, I entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Wythe County Board of Supervisors convene in closed meeting to discuss the following as permitted by Virginia Code 2.2-3711A7, consultation with legal counsel.
To have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are now in closed session.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're now in a closed session. Now, certification.
I move that the Wythe County Board of Supervisors certify that in the closed meeting just concluding, nothing was discussed except the matter or matters specifically identified in the motion to convene in closed meeting and lawfully permitted to be discussed under the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act cited in that motion.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Do a roll call vote. Dr. Hausman?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Okay, does anybody have anything else we need to discuss before we recess until September the 20th at 7 p.m.?
That's just for public hearing.
Yes.
Exit 24 lines.
Yeah, what's this about? This epistle from the school board?
That's their official request. Yeah, that's the official request that they said they never couldn't go to the paper with until they talked to us. But they ended up-
What did I read in it? Read Saturday then.
Yeah, the exact same. It was already printed in the paper. I got that at four something Friday. 4:34.
Well, what's on the horizon to deal with this? Are we gonna keep swapping these things back and forth, and it's a moving target?
Well, he's basically told you in there how we can do it. My take is the board's gonna have to, since they've given you official action, they took action, they are gonna have to respond to whatever your official action is at this point in time. My take is that, we're gonna wait until springtime, when we start developing the budget, we'll talk. So we've incorporated in this year's budget, and we're sure not gonna take $2.5 million out of the general fund and give it to them to get it started.
Well, maybe I'm just totally dense, but that's just the down payment on what you're gonna give me.
Oh, I understand.
If I read his financials, we're right back at Plan 1 has been modified, but it's the same.
This was modified, we just added $500,000 to it to add air conditioning in other schools.
Well, I'm gonna be the bad guy. You know, we went on our little visit, or you did, Tim. I'd been under the impression, and I have no impressions unless somebody plants the seed, that those were rental units. And what did he say when you asked him the question?
What the ones we put in,
Yeah,
we paid for.
you bought them. They're noisy. We were told at the high school that the electrical was inadequate and you couldn't do anything about it without tearing the building down. And then if you look at all that new stuff that was put in as part of the air conditioner, that got done, it's right there on the wall for you to look at. So, you know, how can you have it both ways? You can't do daytime air conditioning units. I was very disappointed that we were limited to a 15-minute visit. And to just tell it like it is, we got a dog and pony show poorly presented. There's not any reason you can't fix those returns. There's no reason you can't do away with those jealousy windows. Probably should have been done before. There's a really good detail to fix the plaster problem. I think they got a beautiful gym, but it's not as big as they wanted, so they want a new gym.
Unless there's a different plan on down the road, I don't understand why they're, and maybe this is a poor choice of words, but why they're so fixated on a new school at George Wythe. I mean, because when they showed us of course, walking through George Wythe to me was like walking through, Retreat a few years ago.
Smith and Boynton building.
Do what?
Smith and Boynton designed both of them.
Well, I mean, it was, and the problems that they said that they had were the same ones that were at Retreat. They showed us more stuff down at Scott, but I don't know why they're so fixated on a new school unless they have, something in mind on down the road.
I want you to go up there and share your thoughts with me on what's down the road, because I'm having the same thoughts, and that's pretty scary when you and I are thinking alike.
Well, I mean, I can tell you what my thoughts are, and Steve, of course, I know how you feel about it a little bit, but if they build new at George Wythe and renovate the other building, and they make it big enough for the high school and the middle school, then their building is big enough for all high school students in Wythe County. That they could consolidate into one high school and use Rural Retreat and Fort Chiswell as middle schools.
Well, that's what I've been thinking the motive is, because that school is definitely repairable. If you get the little side tour into the auditorium, if you want to go see how an auditorium can be treated, go to Buckshot County. Same people designed those schools, so they'll know what I'm talking about. Smith and Boynton never altered from their basic plan. And they sold it to you for the same price with a new cover sheet and a new name on it. And that school was renovated and air conditioned at James River and at Lower Bottom both, and they didn't build new schools. The toilets were redone at James River, the toilets were redone at Lower Bottom, and they were very manageable costs involved. And they did one function each year during the summer, instead of one big tear up the school and try to run a school, because it's not easy to run a school while you renovate. It costs more to the general contractor. It's a burden on the faculty just for the disruption. And I probably will never change my mind that they can't do, especially George Wythe could be renovated. Scott can be renovated. It's an old architectural design, older than George Wythe, obviously. But it's basically a sound building. Well, as an engineer, most of those interior walls are not load-bearing walls, other than the corridor and the outside wall. Isn't that correct? You could clean most of those wings out from one end to the other. It doesn't have anything to do with structure. And the two-story section, your lower floor is going to probably be carrying some load. But most of those are just party walls that can be removed, similar to what Steve's done multiple times in making big warehouses out of little warehouses. Pretty cost effective.
Did
you see the lower band room at Scott where the
Mhm.
it dipped? Is that repairable?
Yes, sir.
Actually, we looked at that in 1996.
Oh, no, it dropped 2 inches in the last year.
Well, 1996,
Sorry, that's sarcasm.
I understand, but if we went in that same room in 1996 with the 1995, and it may have gone down more, it was on a slope then. That was the reason in 1995 we were gonna jack all that up, just come in and pump it up and fix it. It's just like the fascias and sofas down there. Yeah, they're tilted back. You attach the roof to it, and that rubber was, the weight on it was jerked it back. It is. The roofing problem became a building problem. That's what's happened.
The concept of EPDM roofing manufacturer always told you it had 2% shrinkage, always. But what didn't get through our minds as designers that 2% of 100 feet is significant. And the rubber band that we put on them was 50 feet wide. Marion had a lot of problems with it. Old Radford Hospital had actually pulled the parapet wall loose from that 2% shrinkage. You know, when it's 50 feet wide and 100 feet long, it's significant energy being exerted against something that can't resist the pull. There's not anything in George Wythe that can be fixed with proper design and maintenance.
I think they admit George Wythe can be fixed. I think they have it. Whatever it is, $17 million price tag to fix rid of it. That's what they said.
Pass that to Martha.
So how do you get by that, what I believe is a very erroneous number of 17 million has got to be some new that can't be spent on fixing what's there?
Actually, the 17 million adds 2 additions to that building,
Okay.
around where the auditorium is at. If you remember those 2 additions around there, they're actually gonna make the George Wythe High School bigger on those 2 additions. Was it arts and humanities?
Fine arts and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, new band room, new fine arts and humanities. How I remember.
Is that indoor discussion?
No, I heard that we're not going to deal with it till spring.
See,
So he has all winter to keep planning and conniving and
okay.
No, you gotta deal with it.
With next
Make us-
meeting, we'll deal with it next meeting.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it at the next meeting, our day
the
meeting.
next meeting, you're gonna tell him it's gonna happen. We'll look at it in the spring.
Yeah. At our next, look at it at budget time. There's nothing been appropriated this year in the budget for any capital improvements for the school. Stephen, what time we leaving tomorrow?
Let's do it, we said 2, let's back it up to 3.
3?
The BEDP conference at 2 o'clock webinar on the new realignment. If you all want to come in and listen to that, you can. If not, I'll just come pick you up.
What is the webinar?
It's on the Virginia Economic Development Partnership, their new reorganization and everything. It starts at 2 o'clock, just a webinar. I can actually send it to you, you can watch it tomorrow.
Okay, send it to me. Anything else to come before the board tonight? If not, enjoy your new Surface Pros.
Yeah, thank you.